sexual issues. They tend to be this.
Assalamu alaikum. As a new revert to Islam, I've come from a Western atheist culture in the 90s growing up, and because of that, I was taught that my liberation was my sexual liberation and not bound to marriage. So I've had quite a few sexual romantic relationships, and because of that, I'm not proud of it, but it has given me a lot of experience. So I would like to put in my 2 cents piece to this conversation about sexual issues within marriages. This sister is amazing. I follow her. She gives really good information, so go and follow her. First of all, I'd like to say that women are not masturbation tools. What I mean by that is we're not here to relieve you. We're here to connect with you and bring you closer to God, bring you closer to yourself, bring you closer to embodiment, bring you closer to peace and love within yourself, and vice versa, the husband to the wife, I believe. But before you get your knickers in the twist, all of my relationships were long-term with intention of staying together long-term. So in that way, it felt like marriage in my heart always. No woman, and this is coming from experience because of all my friends have also come from the same culture, so we've all accumulated a lot of experience. No woman really is going to want to have sex with you if you are treating her physically or mentally, emotionally or spiritually as someone to please you, full stop, like someone to relieve you, someone for you to release your load. And if they do, like if your wife just does that, then let me tell you, it will phase out fairly soon and you will have issues down the line, because there's only so much of that we can do for us to then just become resentful and bored and angry, to be honest with you. Having sex with the intention of orgasm is not fun for anyone, and this is the general normal way people have sex, I believe, and it is probably across all cultures and religions. Having sex with this intention is literally taking away the entire beauty and medicine of sex. Sexual energy is the strongest energy there is on the physical realm. This is why it's so important to be in a marriage and in Islam, and why there's an emphasis on being committed and ethical and transparent and honest. So talking about sex should be included in that. We should be upfront and have these conversations, which is why I love this sister's page so much, because the comments are very revealing on her videos. It's like, what? So if you're a man and you struggle with this, like you just feel sexually frustrated, which I can imagine happens all the time, right? Because you probably have to wait until you're married to have that release. I would probably suggest like to develop a practice with yourself first. This sister talks about masturbation and how it is not haram all the time. Like there's ways to have a self-pleasure practice that is really good, honest and wholesome. And without porn, 100% without porn, obviously. That stuff is so toxic. But if you're a man that's coming into a marriage after watching porn, you might have developed a porn addiction, which is something that's very, very common, I have you know. And that is going to really ruin your sexual relationships and relationship in general. So don't go to porn. Don't. I would suggest also researching white tantra. Now, I don't know how this is going to be seen to the Muslim community, but the basics of white tantra is this. You want to heighten connection. You want to slow things down, and you want to prioritize these slow feelings of sensations and focus on that and take away the destination of release. And in doing so, the pleasure is actually heightened, improving what really you were looking for in the first place, which is seeking the pleasure, right? That's white tantra. Go and look it up. It's amazing. And it increases the intimacy emotionally, physically, obviously, and spiritually between both of you, the union that is your sacred union of marriage. Another big thing I want to say is, okay, women have a hormonal cycle. For half of the month, it is not biochemically really wanted in our bodies to be having sex all the time. That's for half of the month. So This is the point of the month. It's at ovulation. Ovulation is obviously where our body is ready to conceive a child, so we're super duper sexually active normally. Bearing in mind that with stress levels and circumstances in a woman's life, ovulation can also be a time of stress sometimes, and we might shut down sexually and just want to rest. But typically speaking, after the ovulation point, we enter something called the luteal phase, which is the phase just before the period. So it's like for 2 weeks long every month. In this phase, like, we have a dance of hormones between progesterone, estrogen goes right down, there's other hormones involved, and it creates like aches and pains usually, and we have lower energy. Our brain functions a lot differently to the first half of the month, so we might not just we're not like that much in the mood, and that's okay. Women are built differently. In this time of the month, maybe you could focus on, again, the white tantra stuff, and like massage, foreplay. And please remember that foreplay, okay, again, you're not doing it to be released. You're not doing it for orgasm's sake. You're doing it for connection's sake. You're doing it because you love each other. That's the whole point of a marriage. Like, I swear, sex is taking the sanctity out of marriage right now in society. Sex is taking the sanctity out of marriage, which is the opposite of what it should be doing. If you're making it linear, if you're making sexual an act of like, it's patriarchizing it. It's making it like toxically masculine, in that you're making it a linear activity from A to B. It's not about that. Sex is an exploration of intimacy. Sex is not A to B. It's all of the letters of the alphabet, and in all different orders, and it should be slow, generally speaking, or at least most of it, because that's how you feel. That's how your senses, you feel. Your brain is connected. You're connected. If you're doing this, mate, she's gonna get bored, and trust me, she is bored. And if she's saying she isn't bored, she's just acting. And you might think you need it rough or you need it fast. Trust me, slow it down, connect to your heart, and see the pleasure increase. You will be amazed. You just need patience. And what does Islam teach us? What does Allah say all the time? Patience, my friend. Patience. Kisses go a long way. Spend hours kissing, trust me, and slow it down. Touching, caressing. Like, why are these things just removed from the act of sex? Again, it's been patriarchized and it's been made linear. It's been into an A to B, one step, 2-step dance. It's all dances under the sun. Well, it should be. Also, stop making it so phallocentric. And what I mean by that is, the penis and intercourse is not the pinnacle of sex. It's not like the holy grail of sex. I mean, it is in some ways, but if you remove it from your minds as man and woman in the marriage, from being that pinnacle, from being that, that's the number 10 we need to get to. If you remove it from its pedestal, if you take the pedestal away, it becomes a lot more sacred, and again, the pleasure goes up. Because it's boring as well. If you're just like having sexual play or time and connection with your wife, but you both know in the back of your mind there's one destination you're going to, it's boring. And for the women, like, please just be honest. Like, we know that being sexy is related to being confident. Be confident. He's your husband. He's your best friend. He's your human being to spend your entire life with. Be honest and prioritize your pleasure, because they love it when you are in pleasure. They get off on that. So don't act. Do not act, and do not fake an orgasm. That is the worst thing you can do, because playing to his ego by trying to keep his ego fine, by like being like, oh, I'm just gonna like make noises to make him feel better, is keeping his ego in place. And you're keeping it there. You're confirming it there. If you speak to him in a very sweet way and just explain what might make you feel more pleasure, that is going to have the best effect for both parties, obviously. And therapy. Please go to therapy, because as Amira has said in her video, most sexual problems she finds with the clients she has are relationship problems. Relationship problems, go and get attachment therapy, attachment theory therapy, a holistic psychotherapist. I cannot recommend it anymore. because it's all related to your childhood. And you're only going to heal it if you do the work necessary to heal. Assalamu alaikum.